Hi, my name is Richard Clarke and I am the Head of Visualisation at CineSite in London. Welcome to our video called 5 Things You Should Know About Visualisation. Today I will take you through some interesting facts and information and also tell you a little bit about ourselves. Thank you. So first off, let's talk about the origins of Viz. What's its history? Where did it start? It began in 1928 at Disney Film Studios, where they invented something called the storyboard. A storyboard is a sequence of images on a page that depicts shots in a sequence. This later evolved into being something called animatics, where they shot each pane to film and then edited them in Steinbeck to get a sense of the timing. This remained as the industry standard for many, many decades. It wasn't until the 1980s, during the production of Return of the Jedi, did visual effects supervisor Dennis Muren find a new way to visualize a sequence. He had to shoot a speederbike chase and had to find a way of visualizing it. They created models of the speeder bikes, the characters, and the forest, found a very small camera, and filmed individual shots, and then edited them together to present to the director. Some years later, during pre-production on Phantom Menace, David Dozoretz, who was a 3D artist at Lucasfilm, used early 3D software to animate the pod racer sequence to then edit together and work out a sequence as directed by George Lucas. This is widely attributed to be the first ever previs sequence. Now, let's cover some types of viz. First off, we'll talk about pitch viz. Pitch viz is used to create a visual take on some IP for a project that you're hoping to greenlight. This can be a series of sketches, concepts, 3D animation, models, you name it, anything that visually describes something for the project. Previs is the most common type of visualization and is a pre-production tool where you take a storyboard, an animatic, or even just interpret the script to create an animated sequence and putting that into an edit, which will then inform the shoot. Often, if the shoot is a visual effects shoot or has motion control component to it, you will also do tech viz. Tech viz is a technical process where you take the previs and you output varying amounts of data that other departments, such as the camera department, can use during the shoot. This could be focal lengths, camera speeds when it's traveling, height, tilt, how technochrome might work, you name it, anything that's needed for a technical evaluation and a handshake between other departments with data. Stunt viz is another important production tool where you're planning how you're going to shoot the stunts. The stunt team will actually shoot their own very simple stunt viz, but sometimes they have to be able to put it into a context that's relevant to the final output of the sequence. This is where the viz team will come in and do simple animations based on the stunt viz rehearsals, and they'll be able to define it into a sequence or with a new environment and shots that they won't be able to shoot themselves. Last, we have post-viz. Post-viz happens in between shot turnover for visual effects and final pixel delivery. It's normally used as a very quick way of colouring in the edit for a screening that would then inform the audience and the film producers of how a sequence is looking. It's a very powerful tool because it allows you to save time on commissioning expensive visual effects shots that you may or may not want in the final edit. Now, let's talk about the viz process. So as mentioned earlier, we start with a storyboard, but also sometimes just with a script, depending on what's available. We'll use this to evaluate the costs of the project, but it is different to visual effects. Visual effects has a final deliverable for each shot and sequence, whereas previs, for example, is an evolutionary exploratory process. So that means that you can't put a price on a shot because you'll never know when it's done. So typically, previs teams are booked out for a block of time and you just see how it goes. Once you've kind of got your costs and timeline worked out, you'll then have to look at the software you're going to use and your workflow. So do you need custom tools? Are you able to use off-the-shelf software? Will be using real-time, such as Unreal, or will you be using traditional 3D animation tools only? Once you've made those decisions, you'll then start on asset build. Asset builds for, say, previs, for example, are done at a very, very fast pace, and you'll use as many off-the-shelf assets as possible, adapt them, use libraries that you have in-house, or use creation tools that allow you to create, say, characters very, very quickly, as an example. Once you have all your assets ready, you'll move into shot creation. The best way to do this is to create something called a master scene, where for a sequence or part of the sequence, you will animate the entire thing first, and you will then create individual shots from that master animation, which you will then output. This could be used using, say, Maya play blasting, or you'll output it to Unreal for rendering if you really want it to look good. Once you have these shots, you're then able to put them into an edit, that they say the previous supervisor will control themselves, and then that will be shown to the client. And then you'll often then go back and do another pass until the client is happy. Now let's talk about the benefits of visualization. It's a production sandbox, and it allows you to experiment at varying stages in the production. Starting with story refinement, this allows the filmmakers to refine and explore the script and narrative long before filming. Viz will also provide a visual reference that different departments can use to evaluate their needs. This enables effective collaboration. Pre-vis, for example, allows filmmakers to communicate their vision with the entire production team. Fast and low-risk experimentation. This allows pre-vis artists to show film directors how a shot or a sequence will look, how a camera might move, how the lighting might look, or even simple visual effects might look before they commit to full-scale production. By doing all of these steps, this will reduce time and money overheads, so it's a saving. And they can identify these things and any issues long before a shoot starts. And finally, I'd just like to talk a little bit about CineSight. Recently, we celebrated our 30th anniversary as 30 years of creating amazing visual effects and animation. This year, we launched our Viz department in London. It's a department that operates globally. We've covered projects throughout Europe, North America, and Asia, delivering all aspects of visualization. We have a dedicated, fast workflow and a team with many, many years of experience. If you would like to make inquiries with us, please use the on-screen info, such as the email, or go to our website. And we do look forward to hearing from you in the near future. Thank you.